Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about math and English course options for when you are entering Solano. So it used to be that you would take a math or English placement test. Now we work off of high school GPA and high school grades to determine what English or math you would go into when you reach Solano. So what you'll see here is the English course placement. For English, if your GPA is a 2.6 or above, you are placed into English 1. Or if your junior or senior level high school grades were A's or B's, you'll be placed in English 1, which is the needed English course if you're going to do an associate's degree, and especially if you're going to do an associate's degree in transfer. Everybody has to take that level of English no matter what school they go to. If your GPA is below a 2.6 or 2.6 or below, you will still be taking English 1, but you will also take it with a co-requisite course called English 310D, which is an hour-long helper class, which has an embedded tutor in it to help you with your writing skills, with your critical thinking skills. Basically, it's just a helper course to help make sure that you are successful in this English 1 course that everybody ends up having to take. For math, it's a little bit more complicated because it depends on what your major is. So what you'll see here is the math courses for SLAM, Statistics for Liberal Arts Majors, and you'll see some examples: art, history, music, political science. For these majors, the entry-level math would be Math 12, which is our mathematical ideas, or our Math 11, which is statistics. And again, if you look across, you will see GPA levels that you would need to reach, and then the column on the left is the highest level of high school math that you have successfully passed. You will see from this grid, everybody is eligible to take Math 12, Mathematical Ideas, or Math 11, Statistics. It just depends on your GPA as to whether a co-requisite is recommended or not. So if your GPA is below 3.0 or you don't feel as strong in your math skills, you would want to take 312 with Math 12 or 311 with Math 11. Again, these are a 30-minute to 1-hour co-requisite course that goes over the fundamentals of math, and just make sure that you are successful in the math course that you are taking. If you are a BSTEM, Business, Science, Technology, Engineering, or Math major, BSTEM, you would want to look at this grid. For this one, everybody is eligible to take Math 104, which is the intermediate algebra. That is often the prerequisite for higher level mathematics, such as the calculus series. If you go along the left-hand column, you'll see that depending on what you have successfully passed in high school, you may be able to start at a higher level math course. So if you've taken Algebra 2, Integrated Math 3, or Trigonometry in high school, for example, you could start at Trigonometry, College Algebra, that's Math 51, Trigonometry, College Algebra, Math 2, or Business Calculus, Math 30. If you're a business major, that's the business calculus math that you would be taking. If you have successfully passed pre-calculus in high school, you would be eligible to take our Math 20, which is our Calculus 1. So you would start there with this grid to understand what level you would be able to enter into. But of course, with all of this, there's also the question of what math do I need to take for my major, and what math do I need if I'm wanting to transfer on. So for that, I'll show you where to find some of that information. So to determine what math you need for the associate's degree at Solano, or a certificate if math is part of your certificate, the best place to look is actually the college catalog, and that is located here on our website, solano.edu. It's usually found through the middle of the screen. If our website gets redone and updated, you might have to use the search box, but likely it will be somewhere on the front page. You would click on the catalog, And then you will see that it's actually broken up in different sections. If you click on 1920 is what we're looking at, you will see that it's broken up into different sections, starting with the different rules and guidance for being at college in the first section, and then beginning with the different majors. So I will click on section 2 because it covers accounting through criminal justice majors, just to show an example of where you would find this information. So if I scroll through, I will start to see, for example, accounting. And it would describe if I want to do the certificate or if I want to do an associate's degree. It will state what the courses are and if there's any math required as part of the major. And then otherwise it would say that you would need to complete the CSU general education or the IGETSI pattern, which means you want to transfer to a UC or CSU general education pattern. And for the CSUs or UCs, the minimum math that you would need to take would be the Math 12, Mathematical Ideas, or Math 11, Statistics. Oftentimes, again, for your science, technology, and engineering majors, your BSTEM majors, you would need to get up to a calculus level. If you haven't taken your intermediate algebra, you would start with Math 104. That is not a transferable course, but then you would jump into the transferable courses. So that's one way that you can find out. Another way is that we have created a handout. That also shows some of this information. So if I knew that I wanted to be a history major and I wanted to transfer, I would know that Math 12 would be the math required for transfer. Again, for some of these majors, there might be extra math that you would need to take once you transferred, but while at Solano, you could quickly go through and find out if I just wanted to get a certificate or if I wanted to get an associate's only and not transfer, this would be the math for each of the programs. If I wanted to transfer on, it might be slightly different because of the transfer requirements, and so this is what I would look at. Now, of course, there's also math requirements, as I was saying, that the school might request of you. And so for that one, you would want to look at what might be listed on assist.org. Assist.org is a website that you would go to if you wanted to see what all of the requirements are for taking courses here and at another school, and I will go to that right now. So you would pick Solano as your institution here. If you're also going to another community college in California, you can pick a different community college. So you pick Solano and then you pick the school that you want to attend, and this goes over CSUs and UCs, so California State Universities and University of California's. No privates or out-of-states are listed here. And then you would pick your school, Sacramento, and then you would view the various degrees available. They're still updating this, so 1920 doesn't show very many. You might need to go backwards in time a little bit to view the agreements while things are being updated. Then you would pick the course that you, or the major that you might want. You hit view agreement, and it will show you if there's any articulation, meaning any school requirements before you get to that school that they would want. So on the left-hand side, it will say what the Sacramento school is, course is, and then on the right-hand side, it will show you what the equivalent is at Solano. And you keep going through and find out if there's any extra math listed beyond what would be required for your general education. And every general education pattern, whether you're wanting to go to UC or CSU or any other school, usually requires one math course. In this particular case, I chose a chemistry major, and as I look at the chemistry major, they require not only Calculus 1, Math 20, but they also require Calculus 2, Math 21. So that would tell me that I would fulfill one math course for my general education, but for my major requirements for transferring, not necessarily to get the associate's degree in chemistry here at Solano, but if I wanted to transfer on, Sacramento State would want me to take an extra math course, so I would need to build that into my courses in order to successfully transfer. Let's go back. Okay, so, oops. If you have any questions about what math or English to take, you can always contact our express counselors who are available Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 1, or Monday through Thursday, 4 to 6, 5 p.m. if summer's in session or we don't have school. You can call them at 707-864-7101, or you can also use our online real-time chat, which is at solano.edu/counseling/ecounseling.php. Thanks very much.